homeschooling year on a grand scale? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, how I plan my year, what are the steps that I go through in order to make sure I have a grand view or the big picture view for my homeschool planning. Okay, this video is going to show you the 7 steps that I walk through before I even make a note in my planner. In next week's video, I'm going to bring you along with me. We are going to plan the big picture homeschool year together. I'm going to show you how I do it exactly in my planner, and I hope to see you there, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. But now, let's jump into step number 1. Okay, so the very first thing that I do before I start planning anything is I go back to my mission, my vision, and my why. Now, this is something that usually doesn't change, at least from year to year for us. It might potentially change a little bit in the future. We might tweak it a bit, but there is a focus change. So each year we are focusing on something slightly different so that we can begin to establish routines and habits in our homeschool. And this year we are focusing on a family culture, developing and cultivating a family culture that revolves around our family bond, how we communicate with one another, how we grow together, and how we just live through the hard and really joyful moments together. So that's part of it. Another part of our culture is how we are going to be exploring and traveling the world. Hopefully we might just start off in the States for a little while. We do have a little toddler, and let's just say we're taking it slow, but that's part of our family culture. And then we are also really going to dive deep into a family that serves others and serves each other so that we can love others the best way that we can. So that is a number 1 thing that we do. We always start and refocus on our yearly focus and our why of why we homeschool. Now, if you would like to see more about why we homeschool, you can check out this video, and you can check down in the description. I'll link it there as well. Hey pal, welcome to the most magical homeschool on earth. My name is Jordan. If we haven't met before, welcome. I am so glad that you are here. I am a homeschooling mom that works at home, so I can be home with my kids, and so that we can learn, grow, and explore the world together. So we can build tight family bonds. And on this channel and all my others, I try really hard to build community, to inspire and encourage and equip you to be able to live that intentional life that you want with your kids. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're not subscribed already, and check out these other platforms where I post more frequently on a usually daily basis, and the Facebook group is probably the best place for you and me to get to know each other the best. So I'll see you there. Check the description. Now, the second thing that I do to plan for our homeschool year is I pray. I will spend some time in silence and solitude and praying over the homeschooling year. And then I will talk with my husband, and we will potentially pray about it together as well. And we will discuss what we would like to see our daughters accomplish socially, emotionally, and academically this year, things like that, all of their skills that we would like to see them accomplish this year, but also what, again, back to our focus, back to our why, making sure it all fits under that. And then we will actually talk with our community. So I am very, very passionate about community, and I do not just mean homeschool community. I think homeschooling community is great. I think it's very important, and I cannot imagine going through this homeschooling adventure without a local and a community online with so much wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise and just ideas that pass between us is just so good. But also just any community that I trust and they want to help, and I trust their opinion. So I will also talk with my closest community about some of our homeschooling plans as well, just so that they can speak into it. Now, number 3, I do a little bit of research. I will go and look at the different standards that are being taught in the pre-K and kindergarten, which is my daughter's 4. She just turned 4. So that age range, I will go and look those up. And I do not think that every child learns the same or the same pace. And I do not think that we should think about it as being ahead or behind or anything like that. I know that that is not the mentality that I want to have in my homeschool, and I know that many others feel the same. But I do think that it is helpful for me to see what other kids her age are being taught, so that just in case I miss something, I don't want to overlook a concept that I didn't think about to teach. So I am making my own curriculum, so I do want to make sure that I'm being thorough when I create it. So I'm going to go over exactly what is in these next steps when I do my plan with me video with you guys coming up soon. But the next thing I will do is I will look through those standards that are in, for my example, is a pre-K and kindergarten standards, and I will check off or write down anything that we might not have mastered yet, something that she still needs work in. And because, again, I don't think that any child necessarily fits wholly in one grade level, I know that's not the case for my child. She is doing some kindergarten level concepts and some pre-K level concepts still. So I will go through and I will write down all of our learning objectives that have not been met in pre-K first. And then I will write our learning objectives that we hope to accomplish that are already in the kindergarten level. Just kind of getting a pretty substantial list, just so that I have an idea of the progression throughout the year of where we hope to go. Number 4, I'm going to categorize and list out those different goals that I just discussed. I'm going to put them in categories like reading, writing, fine motor, gross motor development. We're going to talk about some things that are self-care and life skills that I hope that she learns this year. I also have math and geography and history kind of combined. And then I also do a section for unit studies and Bible, just because those are all the different types of subjects that we're going to be doing this year. And I wanted to make a list of each of the different learning objectives that we will be attempting to accomplish this year. Number 5, I make a list of the family trips that I know that we're going to be going on, just so that I can get an idea of when we will be away. I might theme our unit studies based on those trips. So for example, one of the ones we're going on is to the mountains, and so I want to do a unit study on the mountains and the different animals that you can find there, the different foliage, all the different themes that can be compiled into a mountain unit study. That is just one example. Now, another reason for me doing that is so that I can get in the practice of, or get in the habit of being able to make sure we have enough school days. I know it depends on which state you live in or where you're from, what your local requirements are. Now, another reason that I make sure to write all of these down in advance, or as far in advance as we can, we do sometimes do some things spontaneously, is because I want to get in the habit of making sure we have enough school days to make sure we fall into our local requirements. My daughter is still too young to have to meet those local requirements. However, we just want to get in the habit without being super stressed out about it, because she is only 4. Number 6, this one is one that is new to us and I'm super excited about it, and that is making sure that I research, find, pick, and schedule our group classes or sporting events. Basically, it's going to be a dance class. I know she's going to choose dance. I'm going to give her a couple of different options. She keeps asking about a ballet class, so likely that is going to be one of the options. My daughter has plenty of socialization. We see people for multiple hours throughout almost every day. So I'm not concerned about the socialization aspect of it. But one of the cool things about homeschool is that there's freedom to be able to do these very cool classes that are not necessarily in the busy hours, so she can do these classes whenever she wants. Now, number 7 is actually opening up the calendar and writing in everything that I just researched and decided for our homeschool, keeping in mind that number 1 thing, that focus, that why we're homeschooling, making sure everything that I write down on that list and everything that I will do in the next 6 to 9 to 12 months is going to honor why we decided to homeschool and what we are focusing on this year. Now, in my next video, I'm going to take you with me in the planning process, and we are going to plan my big picture year together. So we are going to dive into my planner, and we're going to write down together exactly what we hope to do every week, looking at those objectives, looking at those classes and those vacations, and making sure it falls under our why and our focus and everything we just talked about. I'm going to put it into practice, and we're going to plan together. So I hope to see you there. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you find out exactly when it goes live and be one of the first to see. Also, the main reason I started this channel and all my other platforms is so that we can help each other and encourage each other. So if you have a tip for me or any other homeschooling mama or dad watching this video right now, drop it down in the comments below if you have a tip for how you plan your big picture homeschool year. Or maybe if you have a question for the community, drop it down there below as well. I can attempt to answer it, or maybe someone else that has even more experience than me, or maybe just is like a planning genius can answer it down below. I would love to see this community thrive and work as a team in order to help our children learn about the world around us and just thrive as a family. So with that being said, until next video, or until I see you here, see you real soon, pal.